Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Ninjago set number 71790, Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound. This is a brand new Ninjago set for the summer of 2023, retailing for $19.99 USD and containing 198 pieces. This one is the smallest of the Ninjago Dragons Rising sets, unless you count polybags, which I personally do not. And even though this set is the smallest out of all the Dragons Rising sets, it is not the worst one, not by a long shot. The build here for the Hound itself is insanely cool for how small it is, and it packs quite a bit of character into this small little build. You also get some awesome minifigures as well, making this set a pretty worthwhile one in my opinion, and one that Ninjago fans might want to look out for. So in today's video, I just want to talk about this set to the best of my ability. This is not trying to be a professional LEGO review. I just want to give my thoughts on it, so let's get to it. For the box, here we have the front, and here we have the back. So starting things off with minifigures, let's take a look at the villain first, since this is a villain themed set. According to the box, this guy is an Imperium Claw General, and I gotta say, this guy looks pretty cool overall. Like I said in my previous review for the Sora's transforming mech thing, I like how these Imperium guys look. I love their color schemes, I love their black and their gold. I also love the helmets, especially on this guy, and we see this helmet again in this wave in gold, and it's such an awesome mold. I love this helmet quite a bit. I think it looks really cool and kind of like insect-ish. Is that a word? I mean, it is now. But overall, I like how this guy looks. Very cool villainous figure right here. In terms of the face print, good luck finding a face in that. Back of the head doesn't really have much help either. Honestly, you can kind of see that as being like an alternate face almost. Maybe more of like a robotic face for this guy. But the proper face is this front face, which again is more insectish in nature. Like how that looks. Also, this guy does have a weapon which does contain one of those new blade pieces. Really happy to get more of these. I might just end up ordering a whole bunch of those from Bricklink or something like that, because I love those sword pieces. You can use those for anything really, and I think that would be awesome for an army building weapon. So overall, this guy, the Imperium Claw General, really cool figure. We also have a couple of ninja in this set here. We have Lloyd in his new Dragons Rising suit. I like how this Lloyd looks a lot. Again, still not a huge fan of that green color scheme. I think the green is a little bit too bright on this specific version of Lloyd. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on that, check out my Dragons Rising Ninja minifigure showcase video. I will link it somewhere on the screen right now. But overall, this is Lloyd. Not too bad of a figure in my opinion, just not crazy about that green color. Next up, for a ninja minifigure, we have the Dragons Rising version of Jay. Also a really great figure, probably my favorite Ninjago Dragons Rising minifigure overall. Both Jay and Lloyd come with two golden katanas, perfect for fighting a giant wolf, I guess. But overall, Jay here doesn't look too bad. I think this set has a pretty good ninja selection. You get two ninja for a pretty cheap price, I'd say, and it's also probably the cheapest way to get Lloyd, aside from the spinner, which isn't this exact same Lloyd, so you might want to get this set if you're looking to get some of the ninja minifigures for cheap. Now, moving on to the main beast itself, here we have the Dragon Hunter Hound, otherwise known in Ninjago Dragons Rising as the Fotak, I think. Now, in terms of this wolf, it's just a big dog. It's a big doggo. You can kind of see what we got here in terms of like a shape. Very skinny body leading into a more bulky upper body. And finally, we get down to the head, which we will look at here momentarily. But first, let's do a full 360. You can see some of the details on this wolf dude. He's pretty cool. He's actually a pretty gnarly build, I will say. He kind of reminds me of the old school Chima Legend Beasts, maybe. This guy is pretty much twice the size of one of those Chima Legend Beast things. But in terms of articulation, why don't we start there? So the head is on a ball joint. You can pose that any which way you want. Very expressive wolf head up here. You can also open his mouth if you want. Not really any teeth, unfortunately, but the build is kind of too small to allow for that. So opening mouth, but no teeth. Do with that as you will. That is a printed set of eyes right there as well. Very, very cool effect right there. The ears can also wiggle. You can pose those any which way you want. Maybe you can get some different types of expressions out of this guy. Maybe he's more alert, you know, maybe he's more alert, maybe he sees a squirrel perhaps, but I think that's pretty cool. I like how that looks a lot. Very cool wolf head, once again on a ball joint. The shoulders are also on ball joints, so the arms can move, or at least the front legs can move in and out. They can also spread to that far, so you have some of that going. No, what would you call that, a knee or an elbow? either way, you can't move it. It's stuck with one of those static core pieces. So again, simulated elbow, simulated knee, not the best, but it is what it is. All of the claws are built the exact same. You can pose it at the ball joint there, at the wrist or the ankle, depending on which leg you're looking at. Also, it has 3 claws on each foot. Those can be positioned any which way that you want. If you want, you can get some of that action going on, though admittedly this Dragon Hunter Hound thing isn't really the best at flipping you the bird. The dragons are a lot better at that, but this guy has the spirit, that's for sure. The back legs are a little bit different. Instead of being on ball joints, instead they are on hinges for some reason. I don't know why they keep doing that. It's kind of like the same thing as the Earth Dragon Evo set. It's just awkward. I don't understand why everything isn't the same in terms of articulation. Why are we doing some ball joints, some hinges? No clue. Same thing on the other side. Also, you have a tail. It's not the best looking tail in terms of like tails. I've seen better, but you can also pose this around on the ball joint, twist that any which way you want. So I guess that's pretty cool. Also, the flag is pretty much stuck in place. You can't move that, but you can adjust it like that if you want. That is a sticker on the flag as well. You can even take that whole flag off if you really want to. It really doesn't matter that much to the build. And with the flag off, it kind of has like a more feral appearance. So I kind of like that, you know, quite a bit too. You can do whatever you want though, if you want the flag on or off. For the sake of the review, I guess we will just leave it on. Other pieces of detail, I really like how the neck looks with all of this golden armor. Again, it makes the head and the neck look really bulky, but the body very skinny. And that is a complaint that I've heard regarding this set. The body of the wolf is just way too skinny. I don't know if I'd say that. It's definitely skinny-ish, but I think that only adds the intimidating factor to this guy. Like I said, that upper body is insanely built, so he seems to be a very strong boy regardless, even if he's kind of skinny. Also, sticker used right there. Luckily, like I said previously, the eyes of the wolf head are a printed piece, so that's good. The Imperium dude just kind of sits in there, and if you take him away, unfortunately, there's a big, ugly orange gap now. Really don't like how that looks. It makes the beast by itself kind of look dumb. It just looks like it's missing a part there. They could have made that part like black or something. That would have been cool. But then again, you got to make it easy for the kids to show them where the guy sits if they can't figure it out for themselves for some reason. Don't like how that looks all that much. But overall, as a build, as a wolf thing, as a good doggo, he is quite the good doggo, I will say. You can also get him into some pretty interesting poses, though with the limited articulation with the back of the legs here, you can't really get him into a full-on standing pose, but maybe you can get him into a sitting pose. Ah, look at that. What a good boy. Also, really quick, I love the texture going on here. Again, armor up front right here, but this is all fur. These spiky bits could be seen as being hair or fur, and obviously that tail has a lot of fur on it as well, so I think that's really cool. Also, the paws have a similar thing going on with some hair down there. You can kind of see the difference between armor and fur, and I really enjoy that. Very creative way of going about that for this little wolf build. For a quick size comparison, here we have the Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound with a dragon. This is Cole's Earth Dragon Evo. He's kind of dusty. He's just been sitting on the shelf over the past few months, just rotting, but yeah, you can kind of see how they look next to each other. Again, even though the Imperium Hunter Hound is maybe $10 cheaper than your average Ninjago dragon, he still is about the same size. He's just a little bit too skinny compared to a dragon, but overall, I think this is a good size here. I can see these things giving these things some trouble. For another comparison, here we have the Heatwave Dragon, which is another set from this wave. I will be reviewing him relatively shortly, but in terms of the scale here, like I said, these hounds, while being pretty cheap and pretty skinny, I still feel like they would give the dragons a run for their money. And just for fun, here he is with Shin Godzilla. I wonder who would win that fight. And really quick, here we have the instruction manual, the spent sticker sheet, and the spare parts. So overall, the Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound, I like this guy quite a bit. Like I mentioned, I might want to get a couple of these at some point, maybe even 2 or 3, just to kind of build my Imperium army. I think if you are trying to army build for Imperium, this set is a must buy. And I think this is a set that all Ninjago fans can appreciate in one way or another. If you're a Ninjago fan on a budget, this is a very nice cheap set to get. If you're trying to buy the entire wave, don't miss out on this one. It's one of the strongest ones. So overall, this set has something for everybody. In my opinion, I like this one a lot more than I thought I would, and like I said, it's a good army building set. Get a couple of these if you want to build your Imperium army. So this set gets a huge thumbs up from me. I am very much excited to continue my Ninjago Dragons Rising set reviews, and I hope you guys have been enjoying them. Leave a comment down below discussing what you think about this set and what did you think of my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.